Hello and welcome back to another stream. We're playing more Bat to the Heavens, or as it turns out, as it's listed in the volume mixer on Windows, it's not Bat to the Heavens. It's actually hard game, comma, fun game, comma, crazy game, which is pretty awesome. So we're actually playing hard game, fun game, crazy game tonight. So that's not the wrong controller. I almost just picked... I have a GameCube controller on my desk sitting here still from the Mario Baseball streams. And I went to, like, pick this one up because I thought it was my Logitech. It's not. I have the correct controller in hand now. We're gonna play Bat to the Heavens. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going higher until we find... I don't know. Heaven, I guess. We're gonna figure it out. We're up in the pastel strata. Which, if I remember right, this is where the weird blocks that give you momentum charges are. So that's gonna be fun to figure out. But yeah, so what's everyone... How's everyone doing? What's everyone been up to? Hello, Shiny. Hello, Q. How's things? How's life? I've been doing pretty good. On my end. I had some interesting things happen in the last, like, week or so that I think will give some good talking points to yap about today. The first, funny thing that I want to talk about is something that happened, like, on Sunday. This game sure is loading for a while, huh? Or it is broken loading. Hang on, I think this might have happened last time too. Give me a second. Seems familiar. So last Sunday, I think it happened. Me and my dad was going to pick up some dinner from a local pizza place. And there was like a rainstorm that was gonna show up. So we were like, okay, you and me will go. I went with him to go pick up the pizza before it got to be, you know, too late and the rain started coming down. So we made it there. And the rain had like just started. So we go in and we get the pizza. And then... as we get out, it's now raining, like, super hard. And so I, like, sprint back to the car while holding the two pizzas, trying to, like, make sure they don't get too wet. And then, as we were driving home, I'm hearing, like, this really weird sound. Like a punk, 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 or something like that. Like, rhythmically happening, and, like... sending like vibrations through the car almost. And so I turned to my dad who's driving and asked, what's that noise? And he said, oh, that's the windshield wiper on the car. it makes that noise. I think they gave me the wrong one, and so it flaps. It's like probably too long, and so it flaps every time. And I'm worried it's gonna break off one day. So I need to get it replaced. And then right as he says that, I go to, like, you know, say something in response to that, and then bam! Big crack, and then now, instead of the thumping sound, now there's a scraping sound of the windshield wiper, which has now fallen off of the car while we were driving, and was threatening to, like, scratch the windshield if you didn't, like, immediately turn the wipers off. It was crazy. It was, like, literal, like, sitcom level comedic timing on that event. It was unreal. And so then, after that point, we had to just drive home. No windshield wiper, we just had to drive home in the rain, which luckily is a super easy route that, you know, go all the time, so it's, you know, you have it memorized, and there wasn't too much traffic, but it was still like, damn, that's crazy that that happened at all. Windshield wipers are crazy. I can't believe that, like, I feel like we've advanced car technology so much, and yet windshield wipers still suck. Like, what's the deal? We have a self-driving car, but we can't have a windshield wiper that doesn't squeak. It's always the rubber that comes off first, yeah. Oh, it's not quite it. Thought that might have worked. So yeah, that was a pretty crazy event that happened recently. Let's see, hang on one second. Gotta move. I feel like I'm picking up too much. There we go. Other things that happened. Off stream, I completed Zero Time Dilemma. And boy, you guys should be thankful I didn't force you all to watch through that nonsense. That game is... it's something. It has some funny parts. Not intentionally funny parts, but, you know. But yeah. Not a good game. By any stretch. Now, granted, you know, it had some value. The puzzles, at least, were still decent, for the most part. And, you know, some of the mysteries were good, but a lot of the other mysteries sucked, and a lot of the characters were really stupid, and the animation was just, like, atrocious. Which, you know, wouldn't be a problem if it stayed as a visual novel, but it decided that it wanted to try and be more cinematic. And so it became way more obvious that the budget was simply not there for that sort of visual style. How the heck do I get across this thing again? I, like, did it once last time, and I don't remember what my, like, rollout was. Oh, that was almost something. That looked pretty good, for the most part. But yeah, so I beat Zero Time Dilemma. So that is the Zero Escape series complete. I am unfortunately disappointed by how it ended. I think 999, very good. VLR, pretty good. Has some bits I don't really like. I think it's overall weaker, but it's, like, still fairly good. Zero Time Dilemma is mostly things I don't like, and then a few things that I do like or find charming through their badness. Like, the main villain in Zero Time Dilemma is so ridiculously stupid. Like, this is complete spoilers, but I assume nobody will care. The main villain of Zero Time Dilemma at one point uses his he has a psychic power to control other people. psychically. And at one point, he uses that power to have a person aiming a shotgun at him pull the trigger and shoot himself. And then while bleeding out on the floor says, "Do you see now? This is my power." And then he fucking dies. Like, hello? Awesome power, dude. What was that? What did that gain for you? The one good thing about the villain, though, is that he is played by DC Douglas, so that was pretty awesome. A lot of pretty recognizable names in that voice cast, honestly. Well, recognizable to me, at least, obviously, you know. Some people may not have the same track record of, you know, voice actors that they consider, like, iconic. Like, okay, obviously, like, Matt Mercer, everyone knows Matt Mercer because he does the Critical Role stuff. But, you know. They also had, Keith Silverstein, who to me is a big name. But then when I mentioned it to another friend, he was like, who the hell is that? But, you know, to me, I see that guy everywhere. He's Torbjorn Overwatch, he's Speedwagon from JoJo, he's Guild Tesoro from One Piece. That guy is everywhere, all over the dang place. To me, but maybe I just happen to see a lot of the things that he's in. And then, you know, DC Douglas, very, very famous, I think mainly for Wesker. Which is, he was basically also doing the Wesker voice for this character. It also looked like Wesker, so I think he might have got typecast a little bit. Come on. I feel like I need to hit that purple thing with momentum at the top there. Because that's what's given me good speed on the other ones. Last night, power went off a few times because of a storm. You have a smart bulb in your bedroom. Nice, except for when the power goes out, because when the power comes back on, the light turns on as well, because it's technically on all the time, so you got woke up multiple times. Oh, that sucks. That sounds super annoying. Reason number 5086 why a smart technology is not always the smartest option. Sometimes it really is just better to have some junk. Regular old junk version. Oh, that was almost it. There we go. Ooh, almost, okay. Works wonderfully most of the time, just when the power goes out and comes back on at the hassle. Yeah, that's pretty fair. So, like, what features does a smart light even offer? smart bulb. What's smart about it, honestly? Does it like automatically like save on your power bill or something like that? Just so you can turn it on and off with your phone. Oh, interesting. Ah, we made it. Let's go. All right. Now, what is this? What do we got going on here, huh? Death block wall. Bench. Where do I want to be going? I want to go up, I assume. It's on a string to turn on and off. Most of the string is gone, so it's hard to reach. Ah, I guess that makes sense, yeah. I think I want to get over this ledge here. Ah, okay, there we go. That's what they want me to do. Not quite like that, but... Hey, there we go. Nice. Now, what do I want to do here? Oh, okay, that's something. I can bat swing up to get like a tiny bit of extra momentum. Ooh, interesting, interesting. I can't believe it's like every like couple minutes there's just like a new trick you can do in this game. How does she do it? Okay, now what do we got down here? There's no lamp, which is scary, concerning, even. Been listening to the Shadowbringers theme over and over again. It's quite good. It's quite good. Okay, what do I want to do here? I'm gonna guess I wanna... What do I want to do here? What? This looks crazy. I'll just... Well, that was clearly not it. There we go. That wasn't it. Whew, scary. Yeah, Shadowbringers theme very good. I don't know if it's my favorite expansion theme. That might be Dawn Trail, honestly, at this point. But they're all very good. Except my hot take is that I think the Heavensward one kind of stinks. Environments and Shadowbringers are top notch. Yeah. The purple forest is pretty cool. It reminds me of part 4 of JoJo, where Morayo has like the crazy color scheme with the purple trees and the like bright mint green roads. What the heck? Did I just like wave dash? What was that? That was completely unintentional. Okay. What am I supposed to be doing here exactly? I feel like I need to plan out a route here, but I'm just like... It's hard to predict what these purple things are gonna do compared to some of the other elements in this game. I don't really... I don't have a good grasp of like what makes the purple things do what they do. Ooh, you made spaghetti dinner moment? Hell yeah, that's awesome. How's it going, Linda? How's the spaghetti? What you got with the spaghetti? Anything fun? You got like meatball or sausage or anything like that? Or just plain old spaghetti? Meatball with sauce? Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Also, yeah, I do think it's funny how Shadowbringers is like... Honestly, it's like... I think Shadowbringers is like the biggest example of it. But it happens a lot where it's like... The game is like very... Like, I almost want to say it's like a ludonarrative issue where they, like, want to write a story with, like, these events happening in them, but also need to make an MMO where the player can't be, like, stuck in a location, you know? Or as well with like some places it's like As's Loft, for example, is a place where they have like there's like fates and like quests up there, right? But it's like, who are they for? Like they're there because an MMO, as an MMO overworld area, they need to put fates and quests in them. But there's like, lore-wise, like, there's not really a reason why. There would be stuff like that. And there's a lot of areas like that as well in, like, Shadowbringers and Walker. Something rhymes with Cluedo narrative assonance. That's true. That's so true. Damn it. I feel like I'm getting worse with this jump. They would have us stuck in the first as well if they weren't cowards. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But because they are cowards, they instead have to write in a little gotcha for themselves to be like, oh, well, you can actually leave whenever you want. And it's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, almost. So when I hit this purple thing, it like charges up like a delayed reaction momentum blast. So I want to like come into it with speed and then combine that sideways momentum with upular momentum so that I can make it up into this little pocket here. Like that, almost. Except I, screwed it up. I like nailed this on the second try way earlier. But the problem is that there's a section after this section that's, I don't know what the hell to do in it yet, and it doesn't have a checkpoint, so I have to redo this again. Ooh, that was almost it. There we go. Nailed it. Yeah, so then there's this section where I need to get over there somehow to the left. If I touch any of the purple blocks, I instantly die. If I touch any red blocks, I instantly die, but I can bounce off them with the baseball bat if I'm careful and slick with it. And then there's purple thingies here, and there's purple thingies here. And I'm simply unsure of what the heck I'm supposed to be doing here. Well, that just put me immediately back where I started. And this is a death state, obviously. I can't... If I do that, I'm screwed and I have to do this again. You can see my conundrum. Oh, you know what? I might have an idea for how I can do this. Just bounce around for fun. I did see your pics of the new outfit. Looks pretty cool. I don't think I've ever, like, intentionally made a new outfit for an expansion for one of my characters, but I have ended up being in different outfits each time just because of various other factors. That said, I probably will not be making an explicit outfit for Evercold. I don't think that's happening. I'm just gonna stick with the one I got. At this point, I've pretty much nailed Diane's design. Can't be better than what it already is. There we go. Weren't expecting the entire outfit to be so good. The one in Stormblood looks like a schoolgirl outfit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think the hood is a little excessive, but the rest of the outfit's cool for sure. Oh, that one could have worked. I think I just need to release the tension at a different time. I remembered, well, in ball form, it won't unleash it. Yeah, I remember at one point I had an outfit for, I think, Astrologian while I was leveling it that used that Shadowbringer's top with, like, the weird, the, like, cape that sort of, like, twists around you almost. Okay, that's close. That's getting somewhere. Yeah, for sure. I do feel like that's something that is, like, kind of weird about Shadowbringers. Is that, like, the brand at the time, and it, like, comes in through the game as well, is that you're becoming the warrior of darkness, like, you're gonna change your way, and then you actually go to Shadowbringers, and it turns out that, like, the warrior of darkness is not actually any substantially different from what you were doing as the warrior of light anyways. Which, that might be spoilers, but, you know, spoilers for something that doesn't happen? Question mark? Does that count? I don't know. So have you gotten to the first dungeon yet, or are you just doing the questing intro stuff so far? I know the first dungeon in Shadowbringers is long, and I think it also takes a while to actually get there. When you do dungeons, do you do it with other people, or do you use the NPC stuff? Just out of curiosity. Hang it. That makes sense. I just thought about it because Shadowbringers was when they initially invented that feature. And so, when you're doing the first dungeon of Shadowbringers, just remember that that was the first ever dungeon where they were like, hey, you could play this with our tank who doesn't know AoE spells and kills everything one single target at a time. And then when you do that dungeon, just, like, keep that in mind and think about how awful of an intro to the mechanic that must have been. It's, like, crazy that they picked that as their, like, first ever dungeon to do this with. Whoa! That was some crazy momentum on that one. Ouch. That, like, launched me so fast, I think it, like, sent me into the wall, almost. I, like, saw the screen flash a different color for a second. That was crazy. Currently in Ulamore. Yeah, I think it's like technically, legally, it's supposed to be the Limsa counterpart, but a lot of people say like parts of Norvrent are supposed to mirror parts of Eorzea, and I personally disagree. I don't think the case for them are very strong. I think a lot of them are just like geographical tropes. Like, yes, obviously we're going to have a forest area and an island area because we're like establishing the range of this new dimension. But I don't think they were like specifically supposed to be, this is the Limsa area, this is the Black Shroud area, this is the Thanalin area. But I know some people disagree. Some people love reading into the similarities with the first versus the source. And, I mean, it's understandable why. I mean, it's like free theory bait, basically. Once you introduce the idea of parallel dimensions, any little thing could be a parallel to something. And people love looking for those little things. But yeah, I don't think Yulemore is really at all like Limsa outside of the fact that they're on an island. Like, boy, I sure hope Limsa is not ruled by a bunch of, you know, fat cat boys or whatever. The map does look kind of like Eorzea. Like, I think there's reason to believe that they're, like, parallels. I just don't think they're, like, super strict parallels. Oh, I hate when that happens. That's like half of the reason I don't type words with apostrophes in them. Yeah, they are there. I think they're parallels in the same way that like Green Hill and like Emerald Coast are parallels. Dang it. Go up. decided not to teleport spam until post-patch. Interesting. Interesting decision. I respect it. And I suspect you'll regret it. But you never know. Dang it. It's very annoying that anytime I want to, like, make an attempt at this puzzle, I have to do the door puzzle first. Not using mounts either? Oh, so you're just, like, freaking walking everywhere. That's gonna be awesome. One of my RP friends does that as well, I believe. Like, recently we were chatting while he was playing through some of the new stuff, and he was complaining about how one of the, like, Dawn Trail cities is too big, and I was like, I don't think it's really that inconvenient to get around. And then he was like, oh, well, I don't use the Aetherites in the city. And I was like, oh. Well, that changes the math a little bit. And, like, listen, I respect the commitment to a bit, but I also feel like if you're going to willfully ignore one of the game mechanics that helps you get around a city easier, you can't then complain that the city is too big. Like, they gave you the free bus station. You can't complain that the city has no public transit if you just ignore the bus. Like, I'd kind of get it if it's, like, they didn't originally have Aetherites and they were, like, a quality of life feature added later, because I do think those sorts of things are kind of gutless a little bit when game devs do that sort of thing. But Aetherites have been in the game since FF11. Like, they're not even an FF14 invention to have little teleport crystals around the city. Like, this has been the case for a while. Ooh, that almost worked. It was not the way I'm sure it was supposed to work, but that almost did work a little bit. I wonder if I could try that again. Ooh. I do feel like of recent FF14 has maybe gotten a little too excited, adding a bunch of slice of life features everywhere, to the point where I feel like it's kind of diluting the actual gameplay experience. So that was one of my big complaints with Dawn Trail, is that it's like, how many slices of life are we gonna take before there's no pie left, you know? You know. I feel like my metaphor got a bit confused at the end there. Quality of life, what I meant to say. I'm getting mixed up with the anime genre. Now, slice of life patches are what they should add. Instead of quality of life patches, they should add slice of life changes. That's what would get me back in the game. That's gonna be my review tagline for Dawn Trail. Too much quality of life, not enough slice of life. Oh, that almost worked. Crystarium is very cool also. I agree with that assessment. That was fun. Not what I meant to do, but that was fun. Shadowbringer's going with the piecemeal system of giving armor one piece at a time for a quest is a very good thing. That's one where I kind of disagree, honestly, but I feel like, you know, it's not a hill I'm willing to die on, but I kind of disagree a little bit. Like, on the one hand, like, it is objectively more convenient, right? To just get an item that says open it, and you get an item that is guaranteed to be useful for your class. But also, I think that when a quest offers you gear that isn't relevant to your main, that's an opportunity for you to look and see what might be up with other classes, you know? Oh, this guy has this really cool looking outfit. What if I tried out that class next, you know? But when the quest reward is just a coffer, you don't know what that outfit looks like until you open it. It's Schrodinger's clothes. And so you'll never really see what cool outfit might be available if you were playing something else. You know? Wait, I guess that doesn't matter anymore because they removed outfit limit, so anyone can wear anything. Is a change that I highly dislike, but I'm not gonna get into why I don't like that one, because I think it makes other people mad. And by I think it makes other people mad, I mean I know it makes other people mad, because I've had this conversation with other people. Yeah, but consider that it's teaching you to manage your inventory better. I know some friends who have horrible inventories. They could have done with the learning. Inventory management is a skill many people do not have, and I think the game should force you to reckon with it. Almost. I literally, at one point, like, I keep my inventory extremely clean in Final Fantasy XIV, to the point where I, at one point, wrote up a document guide on how to clean up inventory. Like, it was literally, I was, like, doing, like, Marie Kondo type shit because my FC mates did not know how to manage their inventory at all. So I wrote, like, a self-help, like, mini book on Google Docs and just, like, sent it to people to be like, okay, here is how you can fix your horrible inventory problems. Written by me, someone who has, like, 20 items in their inventory. I can help you. The biggest things that get people are like trade-in items for things that they don't know what they go to, and then like materia. A lot of people hoard materia for no material lol gain. Like, there's no reason to hang on to old materia, basically, at all. There are some niche reasons, but they are not reasons that 90% of players will engage with. Like, sure, if you're doing, like, the ultimate rating, where the BIS gear is, like, level 60, with level 60 gear with level 60 materia, sure. In that case, you know, maybe you do want a couple, like, Battle Dance Materia 5s hanging around. But for the average player, I know no one in my FC was playing that shit. So they needed to get rid of it. And then the second most common... Actually, that's probably the more common thing besides materia, is just crafting materials for recipes they will never craft. People are very attached. They get the "but what if I'll need it someday" virus with their crafting material, and the honest answer is no, you don't. You won't. If you need it someday again, you can just gather it at that time. And it will be easier than dealing with a cluttered inventory for the, like, however length of time until you finally do need this material, if you ever do. Like, a lot of people just see crafting material, and they're just like, oh, well, I gotta keep that. The answer is no, you don't. Put that shit on the market board, someone who will craft with it will buy it. And then you'll have money instead to buy fun things with. And the good thing, I don't remember when they added this, but at some point they added a feature which is extremely helpful in determining what crafting materials you actually want to keep around or not. You can right-click on a crafting material, and there's a button that says, like, view recipes that use this material, and it will show literally every item in the game that uses whatever you highlighted in its recipe, regardless if you've unlocked that recipe or not. And so that is a really good way to tell, like, okay, will I ever actually craft something using this? Because sometimes it's like, oh, this is a crafting ingredient for, like, one piece of furniture. Oh, this is a crafting ingredient for, like, some random level 73 armor that's not even... It's like $2, like, two gil on the marketplace. Like, you know. Many such cases. And so that feature is very helpful in determining, like, what are the ones you want to keep around, and what are the ones you want to get rid of. That's my inventory cleaning advice. Oh yeah, Culinarian is, like, really bad in terms of, like, gathering materials for. There are so many materials for Culinarian, and almost all of them are exclusively for Culinarian and not any other job. Like, other materials, other job classes have, like, bits of overlap, right? Like, you know, a lot of types of smiths will use copper, you know? like, leather shows up in both leatherworking stuff, but it also shows up in, like, carpentry stuff for making furniture, you know, that sort of thing. No ingredient that goes into a culinarian dish, they will almost never share that with anyone else. They're very greedy. And so, like, as a result... And then on top of that, a lot of culinarian recipes have, like, 5 or 6 ingredients in them. It's like, horrible, really. Dang it. Well, that was almost something, almost. Yeah. And I do know the pain quite concretely because culinarian is the one crafter that I have, like, actually leveled. Culinarian, and then I also ended up leveling Goldsmith to 100 for RP purposes, and also because Culinarian was already max level, and I had a bunch of, like, weekly quests to do on crafters, and it's like, well, I might as well give this experience to something. So I ended up going with Goldsmith, but, like, all my other crafters, I got them to, like, level 60, and then I was like, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? And so I stopped. Omnicrafter, I am not. I think crafting in FF14 is extremely boring. And for what it's worth, they do a decent job at trying to make it not boring compared to, like, World of Warcraft. But I think that ironically makes it worse. Because, like, in World of Warcraft, once you have the materials, like, making the craft is pretty much a passive activity. You just put in how much materials you want, how many things you want to make, and then your character will just, you know, do their little animation, and they'll make the thing. And you don't have to worry about it. But Final Fantasy is like, oh, well, we want crafting to take effort, so we'll give you, like, a crafting hotbar, and you have to, like, fill up these meters, and there's, like, RNG procs, and you want to, like, complete the quality bar minigame, and it's just, like, this was supposed to just be, like, a AFK activity. You've now made, like, a active activity it's not a fun activity, but I have to be paying attention for it. Which makes it way worse. And all of the crafters play literally exactly the same. There's zero difference between how any of them work. Yeah, but you look cool when you're in the middle of the crowd making stuff. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Who's to say? I'm still not sure what they want me to be doing at this section. Well, that ain't it. I think these delay blocks are my least favorite item in this game. What? How did that happen? Yeah, that's my opinion on crafting in Final Fantasy. Secondarily, crafting is a huge scam. People will say, oh, if you get into crafting, you'll make so much gil. Wrong. To get into crafting, you must first invest a lot of gil. And then you're already in the hole. The amount of money I've made from crafting is maybe 0, and yet I have more money than some of my friends who are crafters. Still too afraid to do anything other than DPS. Pretty fair. I think the other roles in FF are actually pretty forgiving. Like, playing tank is not that significantly more difficult than playing DPS. The hardest tank stuff is, like, dungeons. Just because you have to, you know, pull aggro, but it's not really super difficult. Healing is a bit more stressful, but I think healing is also fairly straightforward in FF14. You just like following the leader. Yeah, that's fair. I think tanking can be pretty fun in FF14. It can also sometimes be very boring, depending on the tank and what level you are, but generally I think it's pretty fun. Almost. I think my favorite role is probably spellcaster, like damage spellcaster. But I've had a lot of different... I've gone through phases of a lot of different things. Oh, that could have been it. That could have been it. I used to play a lot of Black Mage before they nerfed Black Mage into being boring. Which I very much hope they fix in Evercold, but I'm not too hopeful, honestly. Not very optimistic on that front, but you never know. They have said they're gonna try and make jobs more cool and unique again, but it's an uphill battle because Dawn Trail did basically the exact opposite for its entire duration. That said, some of the stuff they've shown off for Evercold does look very cool. I like the Dragoon. The evolved mode Dragoon stuff looks pretty cool. I like that they gave it the PvP ultimate attack as a regular thing that it can do. Where you just do like a Doomfist meteor strike. Like, if they do more of that, where they, like, include stuff from the PvP movesets into the regular gameplay movesets, I would pop up, because I think the PvP versions of the classes are all actually, like, pretty fun and, like, actually unique from each other in ways that the, like, regular versions aren't. So if they do more of that stuff, I'm all for it, you know? Like, we gotta... They gotta give Gunbreaker, like, the... In PvP, it has, like, the draw and junction ability from FF8, which is really cool to have. But it's not in 90% of Gunbreaker gameplay, even though they could easily just add it, and it would be awesome. But they don't do that. Because they're lame and boring. And instead, they'd rather give Gunbreaker, like, 800 sword slashes to hit every 2 minutes, and then nothing else fun to do. Bastion's pretty awesome. I've been theorizing that they were gonna add the double shield guy for a while. I think back in like 2020 or something, I was like, they gotta add. No, I guess it was 2021. When did Endwalker come out? Sometime during like Endwalker patch, I was like, okay, but what if they add the Ridditon Saz Arvina? What if they add the double shielder, the great shielder, as a class? Now that we're like hanging out with Garlemald all the time. Or I guess not all the time, but you know. It's like there's some Garleans who are like chill with us now. What if they show us how to do the shield thing? And so then it didn't happen. But now it is happening. And it turns out it's because it's actually not Garlean at all. Actually a Rogadin thing, and he just happened to be the first Rogadin we've seen doing it was a Garlean. Conscript. Which is like kind of weird that we've never seen anyone else do it up until now, but you know what? I'll take it if it means we're not playing as a war criminal class. And also, you know, it's cool to just see Rogadin get stuff, because they don't get stuff ever. everything in this game is for elves and sometimes cats, but not really. And this is coming from a player who plays an elf, but there are too many elves in Final Fantasy. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I feel like most people would, but like definitely, you know. That was not right. Oh. Almost. Anyways, to move on from that topic for a bit, and talk about other stuff. Let's see. I finished watching Girls Band Cry last week. It was a very good show. Heavily recommend for basically anyone. You know, the one thing is it is, you know, dub only. Or not, the opposite of that is what I meant. It is sub only. Which is definitely, you know, a minor annoyance. Because I like to watch stuff and then do other things on my second monitor, you know, just like passively. But it's a lot harder to do. Whoa, okay. Hang on. That's a lot harder to do when I have to be reading all of the dialogue. Which is, so that makes dub a little annoying, but... Besides that issue, very good show. Hello, Naran, how's it going? And then, I haven't started yet, but I believe when I spun the wheel, I believe the next show that the wheel gave me was Hidamari's Sketch. I might re-roll it though. Not that I have anything against that show, but I just, you know. I feel like there's ones that I would want to get to first. And for context, for those who do not know, when I say the wheel, every show that I want to watch, because I am bad at making decisions, I just put every show I want to watch on a big wheel, like a Wheel of Fortune style wheel. And I have them all weighted inversely by length. So like a 1-season show has a bigger wedge than a 2-season show. And a 100-season show is basically invisible. Parentheses, this is One Piece. And when I want to watch something, I just spin the wheel and I see what it gives me. But sometimes I cheat. Because sometimes the wheel gives me something I'm like, I don't know if I'm into that though. So occasionally I will just like spin it again. But usually I just go with whatever it gives me. How's it going? Going pretty good. Currently trying to solve this puzzle, and I think I'm onto something. So check this shit out. Okay, that did not work, but it almost was cool. Besides that, you know, we're just chilling. Climbing ever higher with the power of baseball. Baseball video games like this one are all the rage these days, that's true. Oh, okay, that's not right. Sucks to like hit exactly on that diagonal corner there. Like, singular tiny inch of this geometry that happens to eat all my speed. But yeah, Girls Band Cry is very good. My only complaint with it is simply that there is not enough of it. It felt like there should have been more. And I would like there to be more. But it is only one season. Nope. Waited a bit too long for that one. But yeah, I'll have to give the wheel another spin soon and see what I get to watch next. Maybe I'm gonna just do that on stream later. I'll just spin the wheel and see what happens. What else has been going on? Oh, that was almost it. Okay, I think I know the route now to get through this puzzling prognostication. And it's not that. That was not right. Puzzling indeed, yep. These delayed blasts are really inconsistent to work with, I feel like. So she does count. There's different like ranks. There's, you know, has the name, and then there's like the look-alike tier, and then there's like the sound-alike tier, which is like for characters who have names like Mina or similar to that sort of thing. Ouch. So she is in the name type, the same name type category. And then, you know, within each section there's, you know, tiers of, like, similarity. Like, there are some characters who have the name Nina and are, like, kind of similar. Like, I would say the girls band Cry Nina is, like, not an exact match, but she's, like, kind of decent. And then there's ones like Nina Williams from Tekken, who is not even remotely like me, but she does have the name, so she's on the list. But she's like a blonde businesswoman in high heels or something, I think. Or I also think one of her other alt outfits is like just straight up wearing like a bridal dress or something. I don't remember. I don't play Tekken enough to know the character. I just know that she exists because one of my friends brought it up to me once. Well, that was almost something. Basing it entirely off this one album image it sent, the girl with the bubblegum looks vaguely Nina coded, which, let me double check which one that is. But I believe that is true. Music sharing. Yeah, she kinda is. It's actually very funny. So that character is Subaru. She has long hair, but in the credit sequence, they show like a bit of like it's like screenshots of a story of the band members like doing like a hangout like road trip or something, and then like within this Subaru gets a haircut to have shorter hair, and it's very funny to me because this is in the end credits, and like some of the other scenes in the end credits are like seemed to be referring to like things that happened within the series, but that part does not ever actually happen. I went the whole series of like, when is she gonna get the haircut? And then she just doesn't. She ends the series looking the exact same still. She doesn't actually get the haircut. They baited me. I can't believe they would do such a thing to me. Okay, what do I need to do here? That was sort of something. Knocks her down a spot on the list, yeah. Well, like, the thing about it is that, like, as a result, there technically is a design of her with short hair. It just doesn't appear in the like, doesn't appear in any episode. It's only in the ending. The end credits animation. Which I would show it, but that would probably get me murdered by Toei Animation. So, you know, sources, dude, trust me. I do feel like the aesthetic is there, although in reality, actually, I kind of hate chewing gum. It's like, not the gum part, but specifically having a big bubble. I can kind of see it. It's like, I don't like gum. And I've had bubble gum before. When I was like really young, I used to be really into it. But I have never been able to like make a good bubble with bubble gum. I've gotten like some small ones before. But I've never really been able to pull it off. Like, the only time I ever really eat gum is, like, the two situations are, like, if it's, like, a breath mint gum, like an Eclipse or whatever. Like, I'll eat those sometimes. Or, if I have, like, a low pop, like, that lollipop with the gum inside of it, I get that. One of those. Like, I usually don't get those very often, but occasionally, you know, they come into my possession through various means. Then, you know, in those situations, I'll eat them. And then, yeah, I guess chewing gum on the plane is the third situation in which I would chew gum. To fight the pressurization of your inner ear. Ah, that almost did it. Me and planes do not really get along very well, so I'm not doing that super often. Like, I'm sure I've talked about my luck with airplanes before, but, like, I still truly think that I've had a plane delayed by a volcano eruption is probably going to be a story I keep telling until I'm, like, 87 years old. Like, how often does that ever happen? Like, how often does that situation occur? Like, like, the context for that is, like, me and family were going to visit Korea, because my sister was in Korea for study abroad, and my family were like, well, if she's over there, and she can, like, you know, guide us around town and stuff, we might as well go and check out Korea for, like, a week. And so we did that, and so we took a flight west to, I think it was like somewhere in Michigan, I think was like the connecting flight. And that went well. But then the second flight after that, it like, normally the pathway goes like north through the Arctic as a shortcut, rather than going due west to Korea. Um, but it just so happened that, like, there had been some kind of eruption somewhere along, like, Russia or Alaskan coast to the point where it would be, like, hazardous to drive the plane through that area. And so they had to change the route, and instead we would simply go due west over the Pacific. And so, as a result, what was going to be like a 12-hour flight, which is already quite long, it became like a 17-hour flight or something. It was crazy. It was like, truly, you cannot ever prepare yourself to be on a plane for that long. It's the human body is simply not made for it. And unfortunately, I have the problem you can and did. Well, that's awesome for you. I'm glad you're powerful. But in what circumstance have you been on an airplane for like 18 hours straight? What were you doing? Because, like, mine only happened because of a freak accident. I'm pretty sure they usually don't do them that long. Like, I know you went to Italy, but that surely could not have been as long a flight. Like, the Atlantic is not that big compared to the Pacific. And then I'll stop with Camel over the Seine for 26 hours straight as part of the Dawn Patrol. Dang. That's crazy. What are you, some kind of flying ace or something? Yeah, right, buddy. Okay, actually, this is something I want to test. If I, like, do this... Oh, they, like, stack up if you hit it multiple times. Okay, that's new information. That is probably how I'm supposed to get across that gap. Like, even without any speed beforehand, if you, like, hit it multiple times, it, like, stacks up. I don't know why. I was, like, doing that with that section of blocks, but it didn't occur to me to try that with the, like, when I'm at a standalone. But yeah, anyways, would not ever recommend being on an airplane for that long. And I have the unfortunate problem where I am not good at falling asleep. Especially not falling asleep in, like, a sitting position. I just can't really do it. I can kinda do it if I, like, lean forward, you know, and use, like, my arms as a rest. If I have, like, a desk. Yeah, I know you can and do. That's true. I know you do this. I don't do this. I know you've got sleepy bitch disease. All of my friends do, except Liz. Okay, that's definitely what I'm supposed to do there. But, like, I cannot really truly get to sleep in that position. I can, like, meditate, basically. You know, I can, like, kind of zonk out a little bit, but I cannot truly sleep. So, that was, like, you know, 18 hours with no real rest. And, like, I got some rest, but not very good quality rest. And then, like, I don't remember... I know I watched a lot of movies on those flights to and from Korea because it's like, what the fuck else are you gonna do in that situation? And they were not very good movies. They were they were like desperation movies. It's like, I never would see this in a normal circumstance, but if I have this much time, I guess I might as well watch this. So I watched like the Sonic 2 movie, and I watched like Lightyear, and I think I watched like 2 different Marvel movies. I watched like Love and Thunder, and then also the Spider-Man one where he goes to DC, which was like kind of funny in an ironic sense because of what I was doing at the time. And then I think I probably watched something else, but I don't remember. But it's like, you know, when you're stuck on a flight for that long, it's like you gotta do something to entertain yourself. Like, you can only play Picross for so long. Or, I think I also was playing, like, Ace Attorney on that flight, probably, or something like it. But, you know. My endurance level for doing the exact same thing for a really long time is pretty low. Which I know it sounds ridiculous, because, like, a couple of weeks ago I played Virtue's Last Reward for, like, 8 hours straight. But that's an exception, okay? Normally I can't pull that off. Most of the time, my limit on doing the same thing over for a really long time is like 4 or 5 hours. Past that point, I'm like, I need to be doing anything else. Even if it's something I'm enjoying doing, I just need to like stop doing it and do something else. Getting the timing of this is tough. That's why all your video game sessions are like 90 minutes, yeah. Like, multitasking can help, and I think, like, streaming is multitasking to me, which I think is why I can play these games for so long, because I am kind of multitasking. Like, even though it may seem like I'm just playing a video game, it's like the act of just talking and having people around to interact with is enough stimulation to add on to this experience, so I'm not just like playing a video game solely and doing nothing else. That said, if I had no chat members, I would probably get super bored and stop. Dang it. I'm so close to this, I can feel it. This next one's gonna be the one. And then they're gonna give me a checkpoint, and then there's gonna be an even more fucked up puzzle after it. Dang it. I need to, like, mash that input as fast as possible. Also been watching some movies lately, with friends. I watched, The Wind Rises recently, a Ghibli film about a guy who makes planes during World War II. That was pretty interesting. I liked that one. It was a pretty solid movie. But more importantly, I watched Project Hail Mary last Thursday with a friend, and boy, that is a good freaking movie. Let's go, we did it. Give me that lamp. Safe. Okay, now what do I do? But yeah, Project Hail Mary is a very good movie. I never got around to seeing it in theaters just because I was like, I'm not the person to go to a movie in theaters. If a friend approaches me and says, "Hey, you want to go watch this movie with me?" I'll be like, "Sure." But I am never the one engaging, and oh, and if other people are like, "We're going to the movie," but they don't tell me that they're going to the movie, which happens semi-frequently, then I just don't go to the movie. These islands are floating. Not sure how they do that. I'm sure there's a reason. What's up? Hi, this place is a research facility. However, from what I see, it's quite archaic despite that. Not exactly sure what this place is for, but it's at the center of Jalta Lake. Likely connected to the Jalta incident. Tell me about the Jalta incident. Yeah. It's a bit long. Do you still want to listen? Sure. Let me take a few steps back. This plateau is the closest landmass to the heavens. And I don't mean only in elevation, but just in this special corner of the world. Used to have a lot of tourism for that specific reason. This heavens place is home to angels. Angels are powerful beings that literally emit power. Their presence leaves behind an incredibly small, non-physical substance known as angel dust. Once angel dust decides to settle, the substance that it settles in becomes enriched. If you've noticed, this whole place may seem like a strange valley, but it's actually a lake, more accurately, used to be. You can probably guess that the dust would settle in this lake. Over years, decades, centuries, even millennia, it would slowly infuse with the lake. And people seek to obtain it, sell it, drink it, whatever you could imagine. It gave them power, after all. But out of nowhere, a beam from the skies tore through the center of the lake. That was the Jalta incident. The lake was drained. Some say it was by natural causes, others by the angels above. Either way, not only did the lake drain, but a miasma started to infect everyone with a curse. People thought the angels cursed this land as a result. A punishment for clamoring and seeking material gain. But the details are lost to time. No one dares to come here, and people who live here seem to be affected by this as well. That is the Jalta incident. If you're from here, you might have never noticed your curse. Who's to say it's already been lifted, but the effects still linger? Interesting. Deep lore. What's over here? Oh, a giant pit. Yeah, right, like I'm going down there. Who do you think I am? Some common rube? What do we got here? Oh. Oh. Well, this looks fun. Let's check out this side of the area first. Okay, looks like this side is nothing. Just a little house. Alright. Then let us move along. Anyway, as I was saying, I never ended up watching Project Hail Mary in the theaters for that reason. But I had heard a lot about it on, like, Tumblr and places like that. Mainly Tumblr. A lot of my Tumblr mutuals very much enjoyed that film. And made it quite known. And so I was like, well, I probably want to check out this film at some point. Like, I remember seeing the trailers and thinking, oh, that looks cool. And I just never watched it. But then, when I brought up that I had never seen it, one of my friends was like, okay, we need to fix that. I literally I rented the movie already just to, like, rewatch it. You should come over and we'll watch it together. And I was like, alright, hell yeah, sure. So then on Thursday, their wife was going out to watch a different movie, like a horror movie. And they were like, I don't want to go do that. So you should come over and we can watch Project Hail Mary. And I was like, okay. So I did exactly that. And it's a very good movie. The wife was... That's true! Shoutouts. Oh, almost. Movie you saw wasn't actually a horror movie? Oh. Interesting. What was it then? I thought it was. Whoop, uh-oh. Oh, I landed on the roof of this structure. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Went to the theater for a World Cup game, but you don't go very often. That's fun. TV's too big, that's true. Many people have been saying this. Yeah, I quite enjoyed Project Movie. It's a movie about how sex can be hard for people, and let's say if someone who's a good match for them, the metaphor for that is couched in references to a fictional horror movie the characters are involved with. Ah, that makes sense. Still not something I think I would particularly want to watch, but that sounds neat. Yeah, I am I am doing exactly that. I'm doing awesome B-hops. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, I really liked the use of like the color and lighting and the camera angles in Project Hail Mary. I think they did a really good job of like using the spaceship setting to their advantage rather than it just kind of like being there. And then obviously like Grace and Rocky are very good characters. Their friendship is like the backbone of the entire movie, and it's really well done. And then can't really think of much else. Oh, the soundtrack was good too. I liked the songs that they picked. Even if it was funny to me that they used a Beatles song, but it made sense in context. Although it did make me think about something, is that we were watching the film with subtitles on, and something that annoyed me quite a bit about it is, like, I don't need the subtitles, obviously, I can hear fine, but, like, for people who can't hear, it annoys me that when a movie has like a song in it, that's like a lyrical song, and the lyrics of the song are relevant to the mood of what's happening. Subtitles don't cover that. Like they don't subtitle any of it. Like if you are lucky, you will get in brackets like upbeat music playing when the song starts, and then you're just left wondering what the hell's going on if you're going only by subtitles. Like I can't believe that's like they're allowed to do that in subtitling. You're just like missing an integral part of the movie. You know? Yet another very insidious way of, like, just, like, failing to actually do complete accommodations with an accommodation feature. Like, if the movie starts playing On Our Way Home by the Beatles, which has very incredibly relevant lyrics to what's happening, they need to say in captions, at the very least, include the name of the song that starts playing. They didn't even do that. But like that's like the bare minimum I feel like you should be doing. Is including the name of the song that starts playing if it's a known song that they're using. But then like you also really should just be captioning the lyrics of the song. It's crazy that they don't do that. And that's nothing against the movie itself, that's something against, you know, the captioning team, whoever that is, presumably was not involved with the actual creation of the movie. But, you know, it's crazy that the standard is to not even do that. Unrelated, your favorite subtitle for anything ever is the start of episodes on classic Who episodes. It just says, brackets, Doctor Who theme. Like, exactly, though. That kind of shit, it's like, it's funny, and it's also just not, it's not helpful. Like, if you don't know what the Doctor Who theme sounds like, what are you getting out of that caption? Like, oh, the theme song is playing? Thanks. I could have guessed that from the fact that it's the part where the theme song plays. Like, it's the intro cutscene or whatever. New Who episodes usually say mysterious music. That's better. Like, that gives you a vibe, at least, to go off of. Oh, interesting. Okay. Again, every, like, couple feet in this game, there's just, like, some new interaction to think about. Crazy. How's that pesky hiker get past this crap? I think she can just jump normal style. Like, hello, there's a 3-tile membrane of pink jelly blocking the path forward. I think I need to, like, slide over here and hit this as well. Hi, Mega. How's it going? Top 10 baseball teams. Okay, that's probably gonna be a very biased list, but okay, we can do the top 10 baseball teams. Let's see. The #1 baseball team is gonna be the Washington Nationals. That's #1. Purely bias. That's my home team. #2 is gonna be boo. Yeah. Yeah, can you believe this guy? This guy in chat, he definitely would not answer his home team. Surely not. Anyway, #2 team is the Mets. It's all about the Mets, baby. Don't say the Fredericksburg Nationals or I'm getting the mallet. That's #3. #3 is the Fred Nats. And then... Interesting. That was an easier one. And then #4, probably gonna give it to, I guess the Detroit Tigers are pretty cool. #5, gotta be the Red Sox, because Fenway Park is like such a weirdo park, and it's cool. I like that it's a weirdo one. What city in Korea did we visit? I'm sure Sola probably has a good baseball team, but I don't know what their team is, so I can't say for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough. I only know the American Ball League's teams, and even then, not super well. So, let's see. So 4 was Tigers, right? 5 was Red Sox. #6, I'm gonna give it to the #6 is gonna be the Los Angeles Angels, because they have a funny name. And they were in that movie one time, probably. I think they were in that movie. What is this purple thing? Is that new? We have a green arrow has reappeared. And then once we launch up fast as fuck from this green arrow, we want to, like, do some pinball shit. Apparently. Oh, I see. Okay, that's what that is. Number 7 is gonna be... What's the Seattle team? That's the Mariners, right? Or is that a different sport? Seattle is the Mariners, okay. They're number 7. Number 8 is gonna be... Yeah, the Nintendo team. They have a big trident when they hit a home run. Pretty awesome. Number 8 is gonna be the Houston Astros, because they've got a fun, like, team identity. And the Astrodome is an interesting piece of architecture, even if I'm pretty sure it, like, sucks to play baseball in, right? Number 9 is gonna be, my number 9 baseball team is gonna be... It's gonna be the Peach Roses is the number 9. And then number 10 is gonna be the Chicago Cubs, I guess. Just because I can't think of another team off the top of my head. Gotta get more baseball anime on the wheel. Yeah, probably. What about the DK Kongs? Bottom of the list, right under the Yankees. Pittsburgh Pirates, oh, they're pretty cool. I could put them on the list. Well, I'll replace the Cubs with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm fine with that. I know there's a couple baseball shows. And then there's a couple shows that have baseball episodes in them, just for fun. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen in, like, Season 2 for some reason just has a baseball episode. I'm pretty sure it serves, like, literally no purpose in the plot. They're just doing that shit for fun. I know I got multiple hits off of this board thing. I just need to do it again. There we go. And then I need to actually hit it after that. Wait, hang on. I think I'm figuring out some maneuvers here. Yeah. Catch Me at the Ballpark, I know that one. Ace of Diamond, I know that one exists. Dragon Ball Z? Maybe not. They're getting a different type of ball. Nope. Dang it. They play baseball? I'm sure they play it once. If we're talking baseball episodes, then yeah, I'm sure Dragon Ball Z has a baseball episode. Yamcha's a professional ball player at the start of Z and Super has an episode. That's cool. Good for him. Isn't Yamcha the guy who doesn't do freaking anything? He's a bum. Okay. I got this. Dang it. I lost a lot of speed on that one. Mostly understand all the elements in this game, I must admit, you have no idea how this purple box works. It's like, anytime I hit it, it like charges up. It's kind of like Stasis Rune from Zelda almost. Where it's like, I hit it, and then it saves that momentum in me to be released 30 seconds later. And then while you're ducking, the timer doesn't count down. And so, like, if I hit it multiple times, it, like, stacks up multiple instances of the momentum to, like, put on top of me. And then it, like, lets me launch the fuck off. The difference is that, unlike Stasis Rune, I am still moving while the momentum is being stockpiled. Hmm. Maybe I need to do this on the purple box. And, like, charge up that way. That seems easier than the thing I'm doing right now. Whoa! That's crazy that that actually put me in there. Come on. Come on. There we go. Ooh, okay, this looks promising. Okay, no, maybe this doesn't work. No, I expected a lot more speed out of that. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Okay, I just gotta, like, build up that speed and then find a way to transfer it laterally, and then hit that green thing. Dang it. Okay, that looked kinda good. No, dang it. It, like, lost all of the vertical juice. The bonker, slam against surfaces in every way possible is the achievement I just got from smashing my head into the ceiling at high speed. Okay, I can clearly build up a lot of speed if I do this. I just gotta, like, transfer it to right ways movement. Yes! We're doing it! Kind of doing it. That didn't... I didn't make it all the way up. I need to do it again. Which is crazy, because I feel like I had so much speed going into that, but that was not enough, apparently. Ah, damn. I was going like crazy turbo fast at that point. I think I've got the technique. Ah, damn, I was so fast I couldn't even turn back into a ball. Alright. Ah, dang it. Damn it. Can we get a concussion test out of here? She's fine. As we all know from Sonic the Hedgehog, as long as you're in a ball, you can go as fast as you want, you'll be perfectly fine. I know Gankutsuo is Gonzo. Is Nuts is known for an incredible style, and Gonzo is known for jank animation. I don't think I'm familiar with Gankutsuo, but I do know Gonzo. Count of Monte Cristo. That does not really help me, but... I'll have to, like, look up what it is. I've definitely heard the name before, I just... Off the top of my head, I cannot summon what Gankutsuo is. Damn it. So the anime is a sci-fi retelling of it. Interesting. Don't think I've ever seen that, but it sounds interesting. Dang it. Okay, let me stand like slightly this way. So that when I'm ready, I can just like hit the left button. Remember I spun something a while ago as like the thing to watch after, because someone was like, oh, you should spin the wheel though. So I think the next thing is Hidamari Sketch, but I might re-roll that. Damn it. Probably you? Yeah, it was you. Do it live? I might. I was thinking of rolling it earlier today and like watching something until I remembered I had streamed later today, and so I'd only get to watch like 2 episodes before having to stop. Because I checked the time and it was like 8 p.m. or whatever, and I was like, maybe I'll just wait. Damn it. Why is it just like... feels like it just arbitrarily stops keeping my momentum at a certain point. Damn it. Damn it. This is very tough to get the timing just right on. I don't know. I don't know if it is the right... It feels like the right thing to do, but I also am just like... I don't freaking know at this point. Like, this has gotta be the solution, right? There's no way it's not. I tried tapping to the theme of Sonic Heroes. Who knows? You never know. This would be much easier if I didn't have to press 2 buttons at once to turn into a ball. And I just really wish that actual control settings were a feature in this game. Dang it. Can I hold it weird and use 2 hands for this trick? No. I think the best way to hold the controller is the way I'm holding it right now. Let's see. I can try something with Steam input that would maybe work, but I don't know. Dang it. Steam usually lets me remap. I did do that last stream, but it did require me to restart the game to get it to actually go through, which would take me back to where the last checkpoint is now. I don't know where that is. Dang it. Dang it. Well, here's the last checkpoint. I'm here anyway. So, I'm gonna see if I can do a quick control remap that would let me make this game a little bit easier. Okay. Properties. Controller. Controller configurator. Edit layout. Okay. Good night, Naran. Have a good one. Okay, I have now adjusted it so that I shouldn't have to hit both shoulder buttons to turn into a ball. Hopefully I should be able to just hit one of them. And that will at least help a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I should not. Yeah, okay, that worked. Excellent. What the heck even just happened to me there? That looked crazy. Okay. Map all controls to one button. True. Had the same issue with Ribbon Heaven Groove. Too many two-button at the same time games. Yeah, that sounds very annoying. Dang it. The problem that's causing most of the issues is just like the order of operations at which I need to be pressing the buttons very quickly. Where if I'm in a ball form, I can charge up a bat swing without leaving ball form. But if I start charging and then press the ball button, it won't turn me into a ball. It will keep me in the locked charging state. And then additionally, I need to let go of the ball button when I'm landed, because otherwise this timer will not ever go through. This game seems hard, it is hard. But it's also fun. I mean, what other games let you do shit like this? Sonic wishes it could do this sort of shit. Sonic does not actually go this fast. He does not go any fast. Dang it. Dang it. It's just... It inevitably... Once I get to a fast enough speed, I just, like, weave the buttons in the wrong order. Damn it. Damn it. I feel like I lose momentum so quickly from these bounces. I just don't know if this is, like, even what I'm supposed to be doing here. But I don't know how I would get enough bounces and speed without doing this. Like, if I can do that, but that definitely is not enough speed for what I need. Okay, never mind. Maybe that would work. I just need to be quick on the draw. Whoops. Oh, what? What is this? The way around conflict abound, huh? Where does this take me, huh? I see. That goes all the way to the start of the game. That's awesome. Okay. I need more speed than that. That's like, when that happens and it like bounces me directly in here, it's like, what are the chances of that happening, huh? That's crazy. Okay. Need to just get enough speed and then hit the green thing and then immediately go into ball form. And then it should just work out, hopefully. But it's a lot of moves very fast that I gotta do. Come on. I feel like I'm losing progress at this point. It's getting to that time of night. I think I might need to call it here for now and get back next time and try and see if I can beat this with a fresh mind and, more importantly, fresh hands, because I am starting to feel the strain a little bit. I love this game, but it does wear down my hands a little bit with the various ways in which you use the controller. So now imagine playing this for the N64 glove. Literally impossible, I think. Doesn't have the right buttons. You need 4 face buttons, and then also a joystick, and then also shoulder buttons. I guess you could use the C stick, or the C buttons to do the bat swings. Yeah, it would probably suck though. Anyways, I think that's about me for tonight. I'll see you all next Monday. I will be back with more of this, and then next Wednesday will be something different. So look forward to that. I'll see you all then. Have a good weekend. Goodbye. Wait, shit, that's today. Hang on, I gotta fix that date. Next one is the 23rd. Okay, see you then.